because everything is commerce. They might talk about law, justice, and everything else, but it's all business. So I'd say our approach is a bit holistic. So we try to see the reality of things, not just the one part. So whereas we might deal with legal stuff, we are metaphysicists, so we want to see everything. So legal is just part of it. The stuff we try to learn, we try to learn about everything, you see. So not just this stuff. So when we do our talks, we encourage people to do their self-development. So it's to do with your spiritual, if you want to call it that. But it's to do with developing your character more than this stuff. This stuff comes after. If you can develop your character, this stuff gets easier. So it's about how do you call it? Raising your vibration, as they call it, is more important than learning these things. Because once your vibration is high, these things is child's play. Because you can see them easily. You see. But that's where the game is, to put you off your game, and we get you to concentrate on this stuff instead of the reality. But we're trying to find out the reality and not this illusion. Okay. So everything outside yourself is an illusion. That's our approach. Everything outside you is an illusion, and everything outside you is subject to your own interpretation. You decide what it is. That's how you create your own reality. And everyone tends to do it depending on your training. For instance, this board is neutral. The board is neutral, but someone in here could have ill feelings toward the board for whatever reason. He felt on him when he was a child, and he fears the board. So every time he sees one, he panics. You see, and the heartbeat goes faster. So that's the conditioning. And that's with everything else. Everything outside you is neutral. It's up to you to decide how to take it. We try to see the best in everything, even the worst things. So you try to see the best in people. And it's only the best that you see all the time. So we try not to see any evil or speak it or hear it. You want to get a sense? So that's the entire game, is to distance yourself away from the illusion and try to see the reality more and more. How do we start? Commas, right. We'll do the split. That makes it easier, so at least you can see the illusion and the reality. So I'd say, do we all know about legal and lawful by now? Or does anyone need me to explain that part? Well, we come up with that strawman business. Everybody knows what a strawman is.
Could you explain it briefly, please?
Yeah, strawman would be the corporation that's there in your name. That's a strawman. So you exist as a living man.
Okay.
But there's also a corporation in your name. The corporation being the dead part of it. So you have the land of the living and the land of the dead. So you could say, I'd say living here and dead. So this would be lawful, and this would be legal, and this would be law of the land, and this would be law of the sea, maritime law. This would be common law. What else? Living. Yeah, that's mainly it. So this would be the man, and this would be the person, or the corporation. Okay. Well, today's world, everything is trust and corporations, and there's nothing else. Maybe a long time ago there used to be something called a government and all those things, but there's nothing else now. Everything is a trust and everything is a corporation. So that's how they're viewing you, the people who purport to give you public services. Right? They view you as a corporation because they can only deal. If you want to see it another way, if this was the horizon, yep. Let's say that's the sun here, and then you go to trees and whatever else, clouds. Turn around away. Alright, let's just start. Yeah. I'm trying not to touch it. Clouds. So this is land, this is above the land. Everything else is underground. When you're living, you live on the land here, above it. When you die, you get buried and you get put underground. So you're here. So these are corpses. So corpses, corporations, underground, and these, we call them man. People on top are living, man. So in law you also have different status in law. You see, the land of the living and the land of the dead. So the corporations, which are all these corporations, they always trying to bring the man down here, to the land of the dead. First of all, they're going to write your name out in all capitals, and then send it out, or summon the living to attach to it. So they're going to send you the coffin, the brown envelope with the mist on it, and you open it, and you claim the dead body in there. That's the attachment, brings you into the land of the dead. As soon as you start corresponding with them in their name, they're brought you in their jurisdiction. Now they consider you to be a corporation, and they're going to charge you with whatever charges. So,
Like Hades.
It's Hades. So that's heaven and hell. So this is heaven and this is hell. This is heaven, this is hell. This is positive, this is negative. You can make various comparisons, but this is what it is. This is where we are, we're in the sine wave. People pulling you up, you're trying to live, they're trying to kill you. You're trying to live, they're trying to kill you. So this is always this up and down. You're trying to live. If you say good, this is God, this is the devil. You're trying to be with God, the devil's going to pull you. You're going to be the devil for a minute, go back to God. That's the battle that you have every day, until you figure it out. But that's the sine wave. So this is what we are up against. Corporation trying to convince you that you're not man, that you're a corporation, and that you should function according to the rules and regulations that are created to organize how corporations interact with the living people. Right? So the rules, regulations, statutes are created to make sure these corporations don't abuse the people. That's what they're there for. They don't apply on man. You see, you cannot create a rule on a man. I cannot go out home and create a rule to come and tell you guys, listen, I've created a rule, from tomorrow you have to follow it. You see, there has to be consent. I have to come and tell you, and then you can ask me, what's the rule? And I have to show it to you, and if you like it, then yeah, maybe. If you don't like it, you're going to tell me where to go with my rules. So no one can make a rule to rule over another man. That's the first maxim of law anyway. No man can create a rule to rule over another man, or a law to rule over another man. There has to be consent. So before you go decide to kill yourself and become a corpse, they're going to get your implied consent. So these are your contracts, your birth certificates, your driver's licenses, all the contracts that identify with the dead corporation. Because all those contracts are fraudulent to start with. You see, because you're committing fraud by using a legal name. It's fraud. Because the document, for instance, what did people get? A driver's license or a bank account, for instance. What do you use to obtain the bank account? No money. Birth certificate.
They like to see, passport, they really like to see.
No, before you get a passport, you use a birth certificate.
Oh, yeah.
The birth certificate doesn't have a picture on it. It's a piece of paper. And they say that the back is not proof of identity.
Yes, it does.
So you are taking something that says it's not proof of identity, and you're going to create an identity saying this is me. And you're getting a passport using this fake document, and you're getting driver's license, and you're getting services using this document. You see, that's the fraud that you're committing. So they come after you under this implied agreements. You've committed so much fraud, they can jump on you and they can prove anything. You see.
Well, if they issued the birth certificate, was a they committing fraud as well?
No, you don't want to take
They told you it's not proof of ID. But what you're using for something it says right there, it's not for that use.
But then,
Yeah, but it's not for ID. It's for easy for other reasons, for other purposes, not to be used as identification.
but yet when you go into many institutions, they want you to pull out this piece of document
They don't want you, they offer you.
Mm.
And you comply.
Have you tried?
I don't have those IDs, and I'm still alive, and I still
It's
get
not,
what I
it's not
want.
to do with horrific, it's to do with getting even the smallest of information.
You know, I don't have those IDs, I still get around. It's how deep or how shallow you want to get in with the devil man, if you will. The devil is good for business, but it's not good to. It's good to know that you're doing business with the devil and how to deal with it. It's not good to go into agreements with the devil not knowing what contract we have with them. You see, so if I'm going to contract with the devil, I need to know what the terms are before I go in with them. That's the agreement. Because you need the devil for business. This is it, the devil's plane. Everything material belongs to the devil because of this business. Same stuff we do. It's always the same circle. So it's a circle divided in half.
That thing in the see the leg at the back is straight. Keep it over that way, yeah. That's
Like that?
absolutely.
Yeah. That's not it's not stable. So that's the entirety. Everything is always split into two. So this would be the top part. This would be the heaven and the hell. That would be the positive and the negative. That would be the electricity and the magnetism. What else? Yeah, good and evil, man and woman, the polarity.
What do you mean by, you know, when you say electricity and magnetism? What do you mean?
That is the two energies that dominate this plane, is electricity and magnetism. Because everything on this plane is to do with those two mixing. It's electromagnetism.
Oh, yeah.
Masculine is electric.
And feminine is masculine,
Magnetic.
magnetic. These are what's called, L's are direct currents, and mags are alternating currents. So that's AC/DC. Yeah. So when those two mix, is that what creates this illusion of physical reality? There is no physical reality, everything is mind. Because there is no solid, in the sense that the hardest thing is a diamond, supposedly. But if you take the atoms of a diamond and you expand it to the size of an orange, apparently the next atom is as far away as a football field. That's the next one. That's the gap between them. And that's the hardest thing. So everything else is, if you use your mind, you can put your hand through this. But it's just belief. We don't have the belief. If you believe you can do it, you can do anything. Because everything is mind. But this is what we're dealing with. It's positive and negative. There's two things always fighting. Okay. And I've lost track. If I get into this stuff, I just carry on. Of course, the corporation.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the land of the living, for instance, above here, and this is the land of the dead. In law, you have equality in law. You see, so a living man, is of an equal status in law than a corporation. So you have a higher status, always. Because God created man. They claim their authority from the Bible or the scriptures. That's why you have to put your hand on the Bible or some scripture when you go to court, because it comes from God. You see. But yeah, this is the game. Just knowing where you stand and how you want to play with these people. So everything is commons. The reason why they give you a hard time, like I said before, is because your life is free. You get everything for free. You just promise to pay, but you never pay. Since you're born, you've been getting things for free. You see? Because you never paid for a thing.
We're not supposed to.
You never pay for anything, because you always give nothing to pay for. You say, I promise to pay you. You never
Right.
pay for anything.
Credit.
Yeah, you're in debt.
Yeah.
The country's in debt. Everybody's in debt. The more money you have, the more debt you're in. The more cash. Because every note is a promise to pay.
Gosh, how wealthy am I?
So as you go on, there's a credit card attached to it. When they serve the birth certificate, there's a credit against your name. So the things that are borrowing money against your name.
Yeah, it's more like a debt.
Yeah.
Than credit.
Okay.
Yeah, because what they do is they, what's the word? They promise you to the banks, because the country owes money to the banks, and they've sold their gold. They have no more gold, right? They have no more gold. They have no more. They've sold all the natural resources. Now what's left to the people?
Securitized, is that the word we're looking
Yeah, they hold people as collateral for the debt. That's what it is. Because the bankers want their money back. The country doesn't have any natural resources. It's been privatized. They've given the gold away. Now, how are they going to pay? So they say, what we're going to do is we're going to register the people and give you that piece of paper to show that, yeah, this belongs to us, and we're going to tax these people, charge them for 60, 70 years, and you're going to make so much money. That's what people are. Your agricultural produce, and you're there to create revenue for whoever. So unless you correct the status, they're going to treat you like that, because their law is based on presumptions. That's it. Everything is presumption. They're de facto government. It's not de jure. That's the word for it. De facto. A de facto government is there by fact. It's not there by right. You want a de jure government, which is there by right. You see. That's what used to be called a republic. Now we introduce something called democracy, which is not real, it's a rip-off. A waste of time. But that's a bit good. Yeah, it sounds good, but it doesn't work, because democracy is a joke.
Yeah.
Democracy. So democracy is devil business. Democracy is devil business. Anything to do with politics, culture, and religion. I'm deviating now. If I start with this stuff, I'm just going to carry on forever. But anyway, anything politics, culture, and religion. I was going to show some pictures we have on YouTube anyway. Politics, culture, and religion. That's what ties you in. If you're involved in any of these things, then you get put in a cube. You become a square head. So you won't be able to think outside the box.
Yeah.
That's it. And for you to be creative, you need to think outside the box all the time. But if you follow any of these things, the boxes, because the doctrines are, they know everything. The politician knows everything, the culturist knows everything, and the priest as well, he knows everything. He doesn't need it. Because one book, this one book is good at everything, so he knows everything. He doesn't need to learn. And that's the end of it, he's in a box. As long as you know everything, you don't need to learn, you're in a box. We try to break the box all the time. As soon as I learn, I want to come out again. But as soon as I learn, that thing is in a box. Now I have to do something outside the box, which is something I've never done before. We're always doing something new. Yeah. Okay.
Unlearning is important as learning.
Yeah, you have to unlearn. When I woke up, then I had to reverse my thinking and forget everything that I was told since I was a child with the Roman culture, and create my own things. Because I don't follow anyone. I know this culture is an illusion, the Roman one. That's what we come up with. But get to a point where you say, no, I'm going to erase everything I've been taught, and I'm going to create my own things and move on from it. That's what I've done.
How did you do that then? How did you wake up?
Well, I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know how they were doing it. But then, when the internet came along, then you could do more research, and it was, oh, that's how they do it. And everything just tied in together. Like boom, boom, boom. It's very, very easy. But yeah, we always knew something was wrong. Like in school, for instance, the system works this way. That's a symbol in various forms, right? So the devil people, if you will, that's the symbol. This is supposed to be the fallen star. So the L fell from here to here. That was supposed to have happened. So the L fell from there to there. That was the news: north, east, west, and south. All right. When the devil ends up there, it becomes what they decide to call a. This is white, and that's black. So that's why the devil is always a black man. It's not a man, but that's where the color comes from. This is the opposite of what's supposed to be pure white. That's all it is. It's these two playing together. The star, if you're a very good boy, and you don't question anything, you go to school and say your prayers.
Yeah.
You
Gold
see,
star, silver star,
you get your stars. Okay. If you keep doing that, you're going to keep getting your stars. And they keep praising you, and you're going to be the one with a good job because you're yes and no to that. Yeah, that's
In
you.
the military, the star.
Exactly, star, star, star. That's what we do. Okay? If you're someone like me, well, you go to school and the teacher tells you about some planets and you're saying it's like, I think that's some BS. You get into trouble. You see? Very, very quick. People question. Yeah. If you're a free thinker, they won't give you a star. So we don't get stars. Okay? So that's the thing. The stars are for people who are in here, in the box. Alright? So, yeah, that's the basic introduction. You need to know who you're dealing with. There is no government as it used to be before. This fake, you go to, used to work, you go and vote for someone once every 4 years, and then they represent you. and they such bullshit. There isn't that, right? We have the books out anyway. Government was sold in 1980. The charters got revoked 2012. Now they're operating without any business. 2013, BIS was suspended as well. That's the Bank of International Settlements. They were told by the Pope they cannot trade in those birth certificates anymore. It's called modern slavery. Yeah. So if you look up modern slavery and the wording for it, it's going to explain why they cannot do that anymore.
Right.
So if people get too involved in these fake claims, you can turn that around and make a claim of modern slavery against them. That's a new one now.
But what are they using instead?
I'm sorry?
What did they use instead if they can't use birth certificates?
Well, they shouldn't be doing it anyway, because the way it works is the BIS, they claim to own you as soon as you registered. So when a child is born, the parents should keep the child. But what they do is they take the child to the government and give it to the government and pledge the child to the government. And the government says, okay, fine, we're going to do you a favor. We're going to give you back your child with conditions or how to deal with it. And if you breach one of these conditions, we'll take the child away from you. And we'll give you a piece of paper to go with it to show who's got legal title. They have legal title. You don't. You have equitable title. You can use the child for your pleasure. But if you misuse it, the government has the right to take it.
Yeah, which is people like social services and
Same with the car.
they own much more than we do on our child.
Yeah, it depends, because on trust, everything is trust law. Who's got legal title? That's who's got the controlling interest. That's what you want. You don't want equitable. You don't want just to own it. You want to have the title to it. You see, they want legal title. That's what you want. In trust, you want legal title. So whoever has controlling, that's the legal title, is the controlling interest. He's the one with the control. Same with your car when you register it. Same with your child when you register it. Same registration with anything. Transfers legal title to whoever you're registering that thing to, and then they have a controlling interest on it. So you don't register anything. You know what registration means.
Yeah, that's why they hate gypsies, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. No? That's what they're trying to eliminate completely, that natural life, and they want everybody to be cattle. So you always functioning for their purposes, and you're always working for them, doing something to do with their business. So we're not interested in your business. We don't even know what it is. What business are they in? I don't know. But it looks like crook business to me. All right. So should we start straight away on this one, or should we take?
Okay.
Yeah. Memory stick. Who's using a book? No, are you missing a book?
Yeah, we haven't got the copies. I'm trying to get.
Is it two? Because I had 10.
Yeah. You didn't write them out.
You don't photocopy it? I don't know. It doesn't copy.
You email it to me so I can then print it off.
Yeah, because I don't think I've got my stick with me.
Right. I'll do it on this one.
Yeah, so we'll do, we'll get the copies done, and then we'll just go through this so point for point. We'll just go through.
Are we happy with that?
Yes. All right.